Good evening. Coming up tonight, we'll fill you in on what's happening in and outside the Palmetto State.
USC announces an opportunity for free tuition and a look into the Gamecocks' tragic loss against the Florida Gators this weekend.
And later, stay tuned to hear about Columbia's famously hot Pride Week.
We will have all that and more tonight on Monday Night Mashup. Welcome to this week's Monday Night Mashup. I'm Reagan Micheal.
And I'm Jenna Falconite. Thanks for joining us tonight.
We've received breaking news detailing future changes in USC tuition rates. Today, the University of South Carolina announced the school will offer free tuition for top South Carolina students. This follows the announcement made this past August that USC will guarantee admission for South Carolina students who graduated in the top 10% of their class. To qualify for free tuition, students must graduate in the top 10% of their class, complete the free application for federal student aid, and have an annual family income below $80,000. While at the university, these students must also uphold academic requirements to maintain the free tuition.
The rest of the USC system will also offer free admission to students with these qualifications. For the past 6 years, tuition at USC has remained the same. On average, in-state students pay $12,688 in tuition and an average of $1,572 in fees. USC has doubled the number of in-state students receiving need-based financial aid in the past 3 years. Now, approximately 4,100 USC students receive this financial aid. President Micheal Amaritas says, quote, "Across South Carolina, we know there are bright, hardworking students who deserve the opportunity to earn their college degree, but who do not have the financial resources to make this happen," end quote. Reagan, this is really exciting news for some really hardworking South Carolina high school students that really want to come here to USC. Also on campus, USC has recently announced that it is considering an extension of Greek Village. The university has expressed interest in bringing more fraternity and sorority houses to campus, especially since 2 sororities lost their houses last April. According to plans, the university is hoping to build 4 houses on university-owned land and 2 houses on land leased from Norfolk Southern Railway. This will expand Greek Village by about 3 acres. On June 1st, the university submitted a request to the Commission of Higher Education to look at the possibility of obtaining more land. They also requested $20,000 in funds for the initial phase of their project. The project will present several challenges as the university is anticipating difficulties in obtaining the leased land from Norfolk Southern Railway. The company may be interested in selling the land to USC, but the university must investigate what the land is worth. In addition, this leased land is currently used as recreational fields outside of the Strom-Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center. Many on-campus club sports teams use these fields regularly, so removing them could negatively affect the campus recreation programs. The Department of Fraternity and Sorority Life is still discussing the project with Greek life leaders, and no immediate plans to expand have been established.
On the state level, NAACP representatives look to combat redistricting and rewrite statewide curriculum in schools in South Carolina. This weekend, the South Carolina NAACP held their annual state convention in Sumter. Officials discussed 3 main concerns: voter registration, education, and redistricting. Florence NAACP member Maddie Robinson says, quote, "We're always focused on encouraging people to take the right, register, and vote," end quote. Robinson and other members are pushing back against the book bans and educational restrictions that continue to cause controversy throughout the Midlands. NAACP officials hope to keep Black history curriculum taught in South Carolina schools. The organization is still waiting on a decision from the United States Supreme Court regarding redistricting in South Carolina. The NAACP strongly opposes the redrawn congressional map that sparked the case. They argue that the redistricting pulled thousands of African Americans out of a competitive district, leaving it primarily Republican while minimizing the voice of Black voters. The decision of this case could decide the congressional power balance for years to come. Now, I really hope that we see a decision from this case soon.
Yes, and as far as voting, the elections are coming up soon in a few weeks, so hopefully there's a good turnout in the state this year. Up next, SGTV weatherwoman Brianna Rao is in the studio to give us the weekly weather update.
Thank you, Jenna. I'm Brianna Rao, and I'm going to be giving you your weather forecast for today. So right now, the temperatures are in the low 60s. This is a lot cooler than we would normally see in Columbia. Normally at this time in mid-October, we're looking at high 60s and low 70s. Unfortunately, those cool weather temperatures are rolling in faster thanks to Tropical Storm Sean. He's moving in from the Caribbean, so we aren't going to see too much of him yet, but as the week goes on, we're going to see longer rainfall and bigger wind speeds. So because of these rain, we're going to see more moisture in the atmosphere, which means humidity is going to drop off at 53, and it's going to stay there for majority of the night. Throughout the day, we're not going to see all of that wind just because it's going to be cloudy outside, so all that humidity is getting blocked and getting sucked in. But that also means then temperatures are going to start stagnating for majority of the day. We're going to have quick wind breezes, and those are just going to make sure that you feel that coldness that we are approaching. So grab a sweater, wear jeans, because right now shorts are not going to be your friend. Now, looking a little bit further ahead, what we're going to see is the temperatures are starting to cool down. We're moving in from the 60s all the way up to the 70s and then going back down. And that's because of the cloud coverage that we're going to see. As tomorrow heads out, we're going to see that cloud build up a little bit, and that's because, again, lower levels of moisture. We're going to see a big difference between our low temperature to our high, just showing you again, fall weather is approaching. It's going to be a lot harder to figure out how to dress for it, meaning you're going to make outfit changes. But the good news is if you want to get outside and really take advantage of your last few days here in South Carolina with the beautiful weather that we love to call summer, Wednesday is your day to do it. We're going all the way up to 71 degrees and we're starting at 47. So think that this is going to be the day. Do your homework outside. Go outside for a walk. Take your pets on the walk. And if you're taking your pets on a walk, you want to do this between the hours of 3 and 4 o'clock, because as soon as 4:30, 5 o'clock hits, we're going to start to see that the sun is starting to go down a little bit sooner. So we're looking at sunsets around 6:30. So the temperatures are also going to cool down as well. So make sure you head out a little bit earlier. At 4 to 5 o'clock, you're also going to want to grab your sweater, and those humidities that I talked about a little bit earlier are also going to creep in. So you might not even need your sweater, but again, it's going to be a little tug of war over there of what you actually need versus what you don't need. Now, looking a little bit further out, we're starting Thursday with fall break. Congratulations, everyone, because you guys are getting great weather if you're sticking around in Columbia. The temperatures are going to be between the 60s and the 70s. There are some clouds, so you're not going to want to use these days to tan, but you'll be able to relax, go out to Pride. Our reporter Olivia is going to tell you a little bit more about what you can expect for Pride, when you should be getting out those doors, but the temperature is going to be great, so make sure you take advantage of this. We're going to see, though, Saturday things are going to take to a tumble for the worse. We're going to have showers for most of the day here in Columbia, and that's just because now Tropical Cyclone Sean is moving its way a lot closer to us. He's not going to hit us directly. He's actually just going to pass through us, but we are going to feel that effect from the rain, bringing moisture back. You don't have to worry about your mosquito bites, though. The mosquitoes are gone because the temperatures, again, are a lot cooler than normal. Now, if you are going home or you're traveling with your friends, I wanted to make sure that we got you back to speed on what to expect so you can figure out how to pack. So I'm going to start off with, if you're going to the West Coast, you're getting those normal temperatures that you would normally see around this time, 70, 80 degrees. If you're moving to the East Coast, though, you're going to see that the temperatures are a little farther higher than we would normally see. We're talking 70 in Washington, 68 in New York. So you can pack, again, sweaters, jeans. You don't need to bring your winter jacket, scarves, or hats unless you're moving all the way up to Vermont and Boston area, because otherwise you're going to get those high, beautiful summer temperatures throughout the East Coast, as well as down south if you're moving to Houston. Now, coming up, we'll hear from Ciuci about everything you need to know about Gamecock sports. Stay with us.
Gamecock football was unable to pull off a win against University of Florida this past Saturday. South Carolina fell short with the final score 39-41 Gators. SGTV reporter Karenna has more on the game.
I'm here at Williams-Brice Stadium where the South Carolina Gamecocks were just defeated by the Florida Gators 41-39. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Florida struck first, but that didn't deter South Carolina's energy. The Gamecocks came back with 2 touchdowns, leaving the score 14-10 at the end of the first quarter. Florida countered in the second quarter with 2 field goals and a touchdown, while South Carolina's offense was only able to put 7 points on the board, leaving the game 24-21 Gators at the half. Special teams put points on the board for both teams in the third quarter, making the score 27-24 Gators going into the fourth. The fourth quarter was full of energy from both teams. The Gamecocks started hot with 2 touchdowns, but the Gators bounced back with 2 more of their own. In the last minute of play, quarterback Spencer Rattler threw an interception. This led to head coach Shane Beamer using all 3 of his timeouts back-to-back, giving one last play for the Gamecocks to add 2 points to the scoreboard with a safety.
The Gamecocks play the Tigers next Saturday, October 21st in Columbia, Missouri. For SGTV Sports, I'm Karenna Porter.
Thanks, Karenna. Though the outcome was not what fans wanted, everyone has eyes on Mario Anderson for blossoming into a valuable asset. Redshirt senior running back Anderson has been a crucial new player this year. Anderson is a transfer from Newberry College and didn't see much playing time in the first 2 weeks. He had some big runs against Georgia Bulldogs and has been a prominent figure in the offense ever since. In this past weekend's game against Florida, Anderson had a 20-yard catch-and-run touchdown for which he hurdled over a Florida player to receive. The Gamecocks see Anderson's relentless efforts week in and week out and are watching to see what he has in store the rest of the season for Gamecock football. Moving to the aquatic realm, club water polo is returning as a competitive sport at the University of South Carolina. The newly reinstated water polo club has struggled to maintain consistent and committed players over the past couple years since the team was reestablished in 2020. After seeing a rise in interest for water polo, the team has acquired enough players to enter themselves in the competitive league. The Gamecocks are one of the 7 teams in the Southeastern Club Division of the Collegiate Water Polo Association. This weekend, the Gamecock water polo team will face the Tennessee Volunteers in the Southeastern Division Championship in Knoxville. And now, Olivia Sperbeck is in the studio to fill us in on local entertainment. What's the talk of the town, Olivia?
Columbia's annual Pride celebration, Get Lit Night Parade, and concert is this Friday at 7 p.m. The parade starts on Main and Laurel Street and moves to Lady Street. This event is thrown to celebrate LGBT History Month. The goal of the parade is to educate and advocate for the LGBTQIA+ community in South Carolina. The parade is free to attend. The parade is just one part of the famously hot South Carolina Pride week-long celebration. In addition to the parade, there will be Queer Histories poetry reading on Tuesday, a Pride night at the Nickelodeon Theater on Wednesday, and a pre-festival party on Thursday night. On Saturday, there is an all-day festival to celebrate Pride. The festival starts at noon and goes into the nighttime. Drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, Jada Jolie, Juju B, Brooklyn Heights, and Phoenix are performing at the festival as well. There will be other special guests appearing at the festival. For more information regarding the week-long Pride celebration in Columbia, go to scpride.org for more information. Staying in local arts, local artist Alicia Leek is coming to the Koger Center for Thursday night art night. The event is happening this Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. The event is in a partnership with the Koger Center and the Jasper Project, a multidisciplinary arts facilitator in Columbia. The partnership features a different artist each month with an opening reception and art showcase on the 3rd Thursday of every month. Leek is a South Carolina-based painter that incorporates scientific research-related imagery into her work. She has been awarded grants by the South Carolina Arts Commission, the Joan Micheal Foundation in New York City, and a Charleston Scientific and Cultural Education Fund for a traveling showcase titled View from Under the Microscope, Science-Based Learning Through Art. The exhibit highlights the importance of plankton in the ecosystem and how people can help plankton thrive. More information on Leek's appearance in 3rd Thursday Art Night can be found on jasperproject.org. After the commercial, Reagan and Jenna will return to finish up tonight's news wrap.
Chapter of the Alzheimer's Association is hosting their annual Walk to End Alzheimer's Disease. This year, the 2-mile walk will take place this Saturday, October 21st at Segra Park in Columbia. Currently, there are 869 participants registered for the race and 159 teams. The goal of the walk is to honor those affected by Alzheimer's. All proceeds will go towards research efforts and care for those suffering from the disease. Over 95,000 South Carolinians are living with Alzheimer's disease, and there are about 216,000 caregivers in the state. Check-in for the walk will start at 9 a.m. and the Promised Garden opening ceremony will begin at 9:45 a.m. At the ceremony, every registered participant will be given a flower in the color that reflects their connection to the disease. Registration for the walk is required, but is free of charge. For more information on how to donate or register, visit the Walk to End Alzheimer's website.
Looking statewide, the Palmetto State Teachers Association, the largest association for educators in South Carolina, has released its plan addressing school safety, test scores, and working conditions for teachers. The PSTA hopes to see an increase in the annual teacher salaries to a minimum of $50,000 by 2026. They are also vouching for smaller class sizes and safer work environments. PSTA member Patrick Kelly says, quote, "The work of teachers and educators matters, and when students have access to them, they are capable of achieving a great deal," end quote. The organization also aims to help students by implementing more school counselors, psychologists, social workers, as well as providing free school meals for all students. To access the Palmetto State Teacher Association's entire legislative agenda, visit their website, palmettoteachers.org. You know, I think these implementations could be really beneficial to South Carolina schools.
Absolutely, especially having mental health workers in school. It's so important, so I'm glad to see that this is a priority for the PSTA. That wraps tonight's edition of Monday Night Mashup.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv at usc.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Jenna Falconite.
And I'm Reagan Micheal. Have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.